Monsoon.
Well, my computer dings and it dings, and it's just gonna have to be what it is.
Monsoon.
Want me to bring it in?
Will we hear? Yes.
Hi. Today is, well, not Monday for us, but today is the day. We're here, and we're talking about music, because that's what this whole ging podcast is about.
I'm sick.
Yes, girl.
Sorry, this is gross in your ears. I'm probably gonna sniff a lot. Probably will cough, might sneeze.
Bless you.
Thanks.
So, yeah, today we're talking about Amber Mark's, I think it's her debut EP, 3:33 a.m. This album's real good. I actually, Paul and Mary, I don't remember, it was one of the two, probably Mary, but introduced me to this, like, when it was newer. Like, I remember it coming out and then being like, oh my god, you gotta listen to this. And I was like, okay. And I was like, ah. And then I just, and then I forgot about it for a long time because I'm garbage. But now it's back, and I'm glad because it's really good.
Yeah.
So
It is really, really good.
big old cry fest. If you want to weep hysterically, I mean, it's really sad songs, but
Yeah.
then you realize what the album is about, and then it's sadder. So,
But it's also like, monsoon.
it's also like dancey.
Monsoon.
So this album takes us through Amber's grief cycle after her mom passed away.
Right, her mom died in 2013.
So like it was about 4 years. This album was released in 2017, so it was about 4 years after her mom died. And I found this really cool article on nylon.com. It describes this as, the project is a rearrangement of the circle of grief in the order of how Mark personally dealt with the roller coaster of emotions. And that's cool. And then it goes on to like talk about each track and kind of like what it means and like what stage of her grief cycle it was, which I think is really cool. So Regret, I guess I'll just go track by track. I guess that's okay for me to talk about.
Yeah,
I can talk about whatever I want. It's our podcast. So Regret, the first track, after my mother passed away, I really felt there were things I hadn't said or things I did say that I regretted saying. So that song is kind of about her, like, you know, feeling regret for like any tension that her and her mom had, or like wishing that, you know, she was she was able to take back some of the things, and like wishing she was going to be able to be there for her things in the future. This is like really sad.
Oh yeah.
But I think, is that the song? She's like, you know, like, there's so many stories you haven't told me, like all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a song about how like there's so much left to be said that can't be said anymore, which I think is a really common thing for people that are grieving. It's like, oh, I should have said this, or I wish we would have gone over this, or whatever. And it's like,
like that's kind of like, I feel like this kind of follows the more not that there's a typical cycle of grief, but there's like patterns. Yeah. And like I feel like that's the first thing that comes, is you're like in denial. You're like, oh my god, like there's so many things, like no, this can't be real, like and then the next track, Lose My Cool, is where the anger kind of steps in, like snapping at her family, snapping at her friends, like literally losing her cool over things that don't, you know, that don't really matter, like over the little things. Yeah. And then Space, it was just like, obviously, like needing some space. She was writing, so this song is about her like writing process of this album, I think, and then just kind of like, leave me be, I need to process. Journey into the Unknown. Obviously, if your mom passes away, there's an unknown world in front of you. Like, what do you do now?
And I don't think she knew her dad, because if you look her up, her only parent is Mia. So I don't think that she had another parent to fall back on or lean on after her mom died. So that obviously takes part in it.
Yeah, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
But
continue.
Oh yeah, so and then Monsoon Oh yeah, there's more. She says that this one is specifically about her mom, and there's an old a voice recording of like her mom and all that kind of stuff in it, and just kind of like.
Her mom's on she's on Space and Monsoon.
Is she on Space?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh yeah, there is a little audio at the end of her talking, but this one has like her like saying that she loves her and like all this kind of stuff, and this one is like about how like it like the lyric is feels like monsoon every day, which is just like, you know, it's always constantly monsooning in my life because this happened, and then Can You Hear Me is kind of like her, like it says here, like, after going through all this, I had an epiphany, like, what if this whole afterlife feeling is just instilled in our minds to make us fear death less or fear losing someone less? What if they're still here? They haven't left. It's not like the lights just switched off. So kind of like, well, I'll just continue reading that. So I went through this whole phase of that and not feeling like my mom was around me, so I wanted to write something almost asking if she was still around. So I think she mentions like she like talks to God in this, but it's more like she's talking to her mom, like, can you hear me? Like, are you there still? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And then Way Back is about her finding her way kind of like back to herself and back to like some kind of sense of normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. So yeah, that's the journey of the album. Yeah. So it's a really good article. Maybe I'll link it, but I probably won't remember. But
so Amber, she's based in New York now, but she has lived in India, Germany, Brazil, and Nepal, and then they moved to the United States, and she's 25 years old, so she's pretty young, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, so she was 23. Nope, she was 23 when this album came out. So then she was
20.
She was 19 when her mom died.
19 when her mom died.
Mm-hmm.
She has around 1.5 million monthly listeners on Spotify and like 80 to 81,000 followers on Spotify. So she's not the smallest artist, but she's also not super well known. Mm-hmm. I like the title of this Pitchfork article about her. Meet Amber Mark, whose soulful pop will make you dance and cry at the same time. And that's definitely how I feel about it. It's like,
because you're like, monsoon,
yeah,
monsoon. But you're like, oh, well, this is about her.
It's like,
dying crap.
yeah, it's like,
and then it's like, I almost feel bad for being like,
yeah.
But
it's almost one of those albums where you like forget about the lyrics and you just listen and dance.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Which one's your fave?
I like Way Back. I mean, musically, that's just my favorite song, like the way it sounds. Mm-hmm. But I also just like, it's just a little light at the end of the tunnel, you know? Yeah. I mean, it's the last track on the album, which obviously that follows the order. But it's just like, you know, like, finding your way back to things is important, and people go through things, and you have to, like, life can't stop, and like you have to find your way back, and you have to keep going somehow. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of like a little like, no matter how bad it is, like, kind of like, you can do that. You can do this, you know? Like, it's possible for you to find normalcy and to find comfort. And, like, you know, like, things like that you never get over it, but you learn to live with it and learn to accept that that it happened, and there's really nothing you can do about it except continue. So that's why I like that one.
Mm-hmm. My favorite's Space. I think, again, like you said, it's just like the most, like the one that I musically like the best. It's real, like, that's the one with like the claps. Mm-hmm. And the
sounds like,
yeah.
Look into my ASMR mouth sounds.
She has a lot of cool sounds in her music. Mm-hmm. Like is it Journey into the Unknown that has the rain sounds?
I think so.
And then those continue, like, the song has good transitions. Or
Journey into the Unknown is kind of interlude-esque.
Yeah.
It's a full song, but it's not.
Yeah. It's more like talking and rain sounds, and then it goes into monsoon. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. She took a lot of creative freedom on this album. Used a lot of whatever.
Very unique.
It's very unique. Album. Yeah, I like it a lot. I like her style. She's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I really like her other EP that she put out 2018. I don't know how to pronounce it. Connexao. That's Connexao. Love Me Right, Love Is Stronger Than Pride, and All of the Work. Those are all really beautiful songs too.
Yeah, Love Me Right has like a bajillion plays on Spotify.
Yeah, 20 million. Lose My Cool has 11 million.
Mm-hmm.
So she does have. I think she's kind of like a one-hit wonder type of a person.
Yeah. People are like. I'm sorry. I like looked over and I saw the picture of you like from here. That's good. That's good. But yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was telling you earlier, before we started recording, I think she has a very interesting quality to her voice. Like it's not, she doesn't, like she sings in kind of like a lower register, but not really.
Mm-hmm. But it's also not like, it's kind of like breathy, but not in a bad way.
It's definitely like her chest voice, not her head voice.
Yeah.
Which is always usually better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like right in that sweet spot. Like she really knows her pocket. Can you tell I've been watching a lot of The Voice?
You know she knows her pocket.
I know music terms now, but yeah, I think she's got a really cool sound. It's very pretty, but also vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I like her so much.
Yeah,
because it's different.
Yeah, you can really. I mean, obviously, like you said, she knows her pocket, but like. You can also really feel the emotion, and you can feel the grief and the sadness in her voice, but like in a way that's important, but not draining. You know, like this album is really sad, but it's not, like obviously I'm sure it was draining for her, but it's not draining for the listener. You know, like it's not like emotionally taxing. I mean, it can be if you really sit and pick it apart, but like if you're just listening, it's not. Like some of these songs, like I think she said that Monsoon is the only one that is like more, it's like this is about my mom specifically, explicitly. Some of the other ones can be, you know, related to other things. Like Lose My Cool, it's like this could be because I had this problem or this, or like this happened. Like it's about her specific grief cycle, but it is still relatable to a wide audience of people.
Yeah,
so
definitely. I think this is the kind of album where people could find comfort in it. Like, if somebody was going through grief, this is the kind of album where you can come and listen and be like, yeah, somebody does understand what I'm going through.
Right.
Or something like that. I don't know. I think it's just a really unique, cool... I like that it's short. I just like it a lot.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, and like, going up what you said, like, people can come to this and understand. It's like, you know, when something like this happens in your life, I mean, I've luckily never had to experience something that extreme. Right. But it's like when things do happen, it's like, oh, I'm alone and I'm the only person that gets me. Nobody gets me. I'm isolated in this. Right. And like, so like having an artist make an album about something that you have felt and experienced and you're able to relate to, that's like, oh my God, this isn't just this. I mean, every experience like that is unique, but you can still... It's like there's music that makes me feel like I'm not alone in this.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think she's awesome. Yeah. I think I would like to see her get bigger.
Mm-hmm. I hear her in coffee shops a lot.
Yeah. I think that when she puts out like a full-length album, that'll be... 333 AM is considered a full-length album on Spotify, and not an EP, but I would like to see her put out like a 10 to 12 track album.
Yeah. It's listed as an EP in most other places, I think, when like critics and stuff talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super good. So if you want to cry or dance while you cry, or cry while you dance.
Yeah, all of the above.
Or if you want to lay on the floor in only your underwear and look up into the sky, this is the perfect album for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just lay on my living room floor because it feels good on my back, you know?
Sure.
You know when you lay down and your like tailbone like shifts downward and you're like, oh.
I like to lay on my back flat and then squeeze my butt cheeks. and my whole back cracks.
I wish that would happen to me.
I told my chiropractor.
I wish they would stop talking. Okay,
yeah, somebody keeps stealing our quiet please recording in process.
Which I'm like, why do you need a piece of printer paper with that written on it?
Well, didn't our boss say that one of the guys said that it's up on somebody's door in the dorms. We record in a dorm for those who are new here.
A male dorm, so that's why we have idiots. Sorry to tell our male fans, but men are dumb. Like a normal woman our age would not steal that sign to put on her dorm door.
Also, it's on the door because it's actually happening.
Yeah. I was in here the other day. I was in here on last Sunday. And I had the door, like, kind of cracked open. And the light was on. And I was sitting at the desk. And this guy just walks in. He goes, oh, I've never been in here before. And he looks over and I went, hey. And he goes, oh, my God. And then walks out. And I was just like, do people just do that? Like, just, oh, here's a door that's open with something I've never seen before. I've never been in here. I should go in.
Like, probably because you're not supposed to be in here. Please leave.
Like, there's a reason that, like, we don't just let people into the studio. You have to be asked to come in to the studio or work here. And that's very few.
I'm going to go tell them to hush.
You know what? They won't. Is the thing. You know? It's okay. You know, they probably can't even hear it, to be honest.
I can see it moving.
That's just room noise.
Maybe.
It's fine.
I'm just angry. I haven't had any human interaction in the last 2 days, so. Other than Luke coming to fix my car.
Oh, yeah.
I broke my car. Yeah. It's fine, though.
Proud of you.
Luke's gonna fix it for me.
Way to go, Luke. What a good guy. What a man.
Man.
But.
That's a really gross noise I just made.
What are we doing next week?
Next week, we're talking about Nothing Happens by Wallows. For those who don't know, Wallows has the guy that plays Clay in that Netflix show, 13 Reasons Why. Is that what it's called?
We don't support the show, but we're gonna support the music. I kicked the table. I'm sorry. That was really loud.
Yeah, he's the lead singer. They're cool. Put out a new album today, which is not actually today, Friday, March 22nd. We'll talk about it. You guys will hear it next week. Come back.
You know where you can hear about it? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, me and Venegas.
All of them.
All of the above. Literally, you can find us
all the places. Anywhere. Just search for us. It's at Music Monday Cast everywhere.
Yep.
So just type that in. You'll find us.
It's the purple logo, and because I know Music Mondays isn't like the most original name in the world. So like if you just type in that, like go get other stuff probably.
Yeah.
But look for the purple logo. It's down this where my coffee is. Purple logo.
Yeah.
That's the only picture we post anywhere.
Yeah.
And then bad pictures of us being like. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I think that's it. Are we done?
Yeah.
I gotta pee.
Have a musical Monday, everybody. Hopefully you weren't too disgusted by my voice. Bye.
Bye. And cut.
Cut it out.
Cut. And cut.